Yeah, third singer since the album, which is ridiculous.
And it's also, I think we've played the Euroblast. This will be the third time, and it'll be the third singer that we've played. We've only played with a Euroblast with one singer at a time. Does that make sense? Yeah, you know what I mean.
And what are the reasons? I mean, last year it was the presentation of Elliot as a new singer. It's here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we've just been a little unlucky. It was Dan left very shortly after the first album came out. Just personal reasons, you know. As I said, I was hanging around with him last night after he played, and we had a great time. So there's no beef. There's nothing left over from that. With Elliot, it was just a writing thing. You know, lovely guy, the best guy to hang out with. But we just had different musical direction. Luckily, Ash, the new guy, he's come on board and he's just blown us away straight away. He was the first guy to give us an audition, or one of the first guys to give us an audition, but because we've always rushed this process in the past, we took a little bit more time to make sure we'd found the right guy. And then everything he gave us was just like, wow, you know, this is great. And we've got probably about 25% of the vocals for the album written, or at least demoed, and it sounds fantastic. Like, it's a different direction a slightly different direction to what we've done before. It's not as brutal and heavy, but it's just epic, and you know, it sounds huge. It sounds really good.
It's just an evolution from what we've done before. It's not drastically different. It's just it's progressed. It's prog.
A lot of searching.
He was under our nose the whole time.
Yeah, he was.
Because he plays in another band called Voices from the Fuselage, and Ackle, the guitarist in the band, he mixed their first EP or their latest EP. He mixed one of their records, and then after searching forever, he sort of dug it out and was like, "Oh, guys, listen to this guy." And we're like, "Wow,
yeah,
it's pretty good."
So we stole him. We're just focusing really heavily on writing and finishing the album, because it's important for us to release something as soon as possible, because we've kind of been, it feels like the last year has been a break for us, because we've had in terms of the public eye, you know, we've still appeared in the magazines and we put an EP out at the start of the year, but we haven't done any touring really, so we need to get an album out so that we can tour it. And we've got, as I say, about 75% of the writing is done and the music. There's a little bit more structuring to do, a lot more learning for us to do, because Ackle writes it all and then we go, oh god, we've got to learn that. But yeah, it's coming along. The idea is to get it finished by December and put it out as soon as we can next year.
And it's Ackle in the hole again, sitting at home doing the stuff?
Ackle's the little genius. He writes the music. It's fair to say he's the brain, really. We interpret what he does and we try and do it right on stage. It'd be nice if we could write on the road, but the way he writes is very different. It's not like you just come up with a riff and go, yeah, I'll remember that. You have to write it, record it. You might come up with a drum pattern first and then write that into a computer, and you need a rig, really. You need more than we can feasibly take on a tour with us to do. So, and also you're always tired on tour. Like, it's probably not the most productive time to start writing stuff, because it will just be, you know, 2 chords or 1 string, which it is. So. Ackle comes up with the bass of every song. He writes everything. Then when we come to rehearse, and when the song's been sent to us as a sort of complete riff or a complete song, we all contribute at that stage. We say, you know, try this, extend this section, because we've all got ideas. But you know, he's the guy behind it all. He's the man writing it, really. So it's his baby.
Yeah, we just make it a bit more human, I guess, when we add in our elements.
No, you can't do that. It's too hard. Early next year, and we can say that with some confidence because we've said these things in the past, and it's been sort of 3 years down the line we release a single or a clip or something. It's important that we put something out as soon as possible next year, and we're sort of trying to organise tours and everything now so that it all, you know, everything aligns for the next year.
I think it's also important for our own sanity, because even though that album came out 18 months ago, it was finished nearly 3 years ago now, I think. So we need to kind of play something new.
Well, we haven't done anything much this year. Last year we did. We had a lot of time in America. We did the LXD tour at the start of the year, which was Periphery and Monuments. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I thought I'd forgot that. We did the Protest the Hero tour in America for about 2 months. We went to Australia last year. We went to India last year.
How was that? I mean, India?
India was incredible. It's not at all what you expect either. Like we kind of expected to, not necessarily be treated as nicely as we were. And the reception was incredible, absolutely incredible. Like a sea of heads at the shows, and there's a scene over there that's growing, really, really strongly. And I was talking to a couple of the guys from Sky Harbour about it last night. Actually, like before this particular, I'll say this movement, the whole Genty Euroblast thing. There wasn't much press about Indian metal and stuff over here, and since this has taken off, you do hear a lot more about it. There's a lot more coverage online, and I guess Sky Harbour are quite lucky because they can support all of the massive bands that go over to India, because they're like the Indian band, aren't they? Like, it's brilliant.
Well, it's quite amazing how much this whole scene's grown, because Euroblast, when we first played, was in a tiny venue in front of about 300 people, and now it's 1,500 people. So
that's in 3 years,
which is pretty insane. And I think it is pretty healthy. I mean, apart from all the boring people on the internet who like debating what gent is and all that crap. As far as the bands go, it's really exciting. You get loads of people trying different things. They've got Panzer Ballet, who do that really jazzy thing. Then you've got Algorithm, who off the wall electronica, and then you've got Chimp Spanner, who does his 80s fusion, and then Hacktivist, who bring in sort of rap, and I don't know, I think it's just a really diverse scene where there's no sort of fear of sort of doing something different, and I think that might be why it's growing so quickly, because it's interesting. Yeah, I think it's healthy.